Let's take you back live now to the North Gauteng High Court in Pretoria, where the cross-examination of Sergeant Thabo Mosia seemingly has ended in the Meyiwa Murder Trial. Just a short while ago, Judge Maumela wrapping up the day by thanking Mosia for his time on the stand despite ill health. My colleague Slindelo Masegane is in court at this hour. Slindelo, what is happening now and how did it all wrap up today?
All right, Badan, finally we have cross-examination that's wrapped up. Sergeant Thabo Mosia has just left the courtroom. Thank you so much for your time this afternoon. Of course, it's been a long couple of months on the stand. Tell me how you're feeling, Mr. Mosia. Tell me how the past couple of months have been for you.
It was tough. At the moment, I don't know how I cannot understand my feelings at this moment. Yes, but I'm done. That is the fact. Now I'm happy because I'm done.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Tell me how difficult it was having to remember everything that you did at the crime scene and the questions. I mean, a lot of it had to do with how you handled it, and that there were questions with whether you were actually skilled enough to handle that crime scene.
Can you repeat the question? My mind is tired. Sorry.
There were questions about how you handled the crime scene, that you didn't do a good job. How did those questions make you feel, given how long it's been since the crime scene happened?
Those questions were very much challenging to me.
Yeah.
Very much challenging.
With so much experience in Thabo Mosia, do you believe that there's anything different you could have done at the scene? You know, police are often called to difficult crime scenes like this, and it seems on the day you responded to quite a lot. And there were many questions about why you left the crime scene, the Meyiwa crime scene, yet you had not completed your work there. You only found, for example, the bullet on the second visit to the crime scene. Is there anything that you believe you could have done differently?
What I can say, that crime scene was very much complicated, and for me it was a bit heavier, and that's why I ended up deciding to. And I ended up doing the necessary to call people who can help me. Yes, it was going to be very much difficult for me alone.
Yeah.
Yes.
When you got to the crime scene, what is it that you remember that stood out for you, that you thought something is wrong here? Was there anything that stood out for you?
The time frame, the time of incident, and the time the case. The time which was the case was reported to me, it opened very much too many questions to me.
Yeah. What kind of questions were you asking yourself about how long it took?
What was happening before I received the call? I'm not sure what was happening before I received the call, but it was abnormal. It was abnormal. I've been attending to crime scenes, but that time frame is too much.
Yeah, 4 hours is a very long time.
Very long time.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you contend in that 4 hours, anything could have happened. The scene could have been tampered with. That's what you contend.
I cannot say anything about the.
But you're saying it's abnormal. So anything could have happened.
I think so.
All right.
Mr. Mosia, then now moving forward, are there any lessons that you take from that crime scene?
Too many lessons.
Yeah, such as what?
Too many lessons.
Yeah.
Too many lessons. Yeah. I'm tired at the moment, please. People, I'm tired. I'm very tired now.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
All right, Badan, as you can see, that's Mr. Mosia going home, very tired. It's been a long couple of months for him on the stand. I mean, you can imagine he's the state's first witness. He took the stand back in April, and only today has counsel completed their questioning of his evidence. And of course, much being raised about how the crime scene was handled, the issues around the crime scene being compromised. But as you can hear, he is saying that there was something suspicious about how long it took for the crime to actually be reported, as well as for him to be brought to the scene. A 4-hour time frame had actually gone past before he was called to the scene. So he says that for him it was very suspicious, and of course it's said in his second statement, in the second second docket, in docket 375, he actually does say that in that statement that he deposed for that particular docket, that he does believe that the crime scene may have been compromised due to the fact that there was so much time that had lapsed. So, of course, with Mosia now officially off the witness box, we know that tomorrow morning then we start with a new witness. At this point, it's still unclear who that's going to be. But what we do know is that the defense is pushing for those who were in the house to be the ones that are called next. Whether that's going to be the case, we don't know. But we know that we are still expecting evidence from ballistics as well as police officers potentially who were also at that crime scene, Badan.
Okay, we're going to have to wait until tomorrow, Slindelo, to see who is the next witness in that box. Thank you very much for that wrap of today's events and proceedings, rather, in the Senzo Meyiwa Murder Trial in Pretoria. Sergeant Mosia, done and dusted. He's now ended his testimony, and as he was leaving there, speaking to Slindelo Masigane just about his experience in the dock.